Operation Soundwave.
Kia ora, what's up, what's going on? Welcome to my channel. Back in 2018 I created a 9'9" transformer by the name of Soundwave. Of course he's a Decepticon and he was the 1984 edition. I also created 3 of his minions, Laserbeak, Rumble and Ravage. I also made a 4th piece to that. It was a cosplay that was played by my oldest granddaughter, and that was Skywolf. And also the minions, Ravage, Rumble and Laserbeak, they could transform, and with the Soundwave I actually had his original voice in there, so I used a Roland vocoder, not the original as they did back in the 80s because they don't have them anymore. I had to use a modern version of it, and also installed LEDs and also sound effects and just many more. And we also showcased it at Wellington Armageddon in 2018 where I won 2 awards, as you can see there and there. So this is the story of how I built this, and 6 months and $1,000 later. So let's get into this. Materials I used in this build were LEDs, PVA glue, also different size paintbrushes to paint it on, screwdrivers, cutters and scissors, also pliers, also X-Acto knife, craft knife and a file. If you use a file on your craft knife blades, you will save a lot of money. This is industrial craft knife. F2 contact adhesive, ADOS or something similar, and also lots of EVA foam. Also a Dremel or a rotary tool and its bits, hot glue gun and lots of glue sticks. Also a drill and its bits, and wooden dowels of different diameters and lengths, solder, soldering iron, also canal wire or wrapping wire of some kind, also alligator clips to hold down your wiring while you are soldering it, also paint and brushes, rulers, nuts, bolts and screws, a pair of calipers, also elastic MDF board as well, really thin, and PVC tubing. I also incorporated corrugated plastic and some clear acrylic. Finally, cardboard. So as with Ravage, I scaled up Laserbeak to run about 5 times the scale of the picture, or maybe a bit bigger, keeping in mind that it has to fit inside of Soundwave's chest. So I used a ruler and calipers and also a calculator to do this. I went in with a X-Acto knife and some scissors and cut all the shapes out. Also drew the bottom piece going off that image. The top one in white is the top end and the brown is the bottom end. Once I had finished doing all of that, I transferred the cardboard and drew around it on top of the foam, and then cut the shapes out with a craft knife. Next I drew and cut out the head using thin EVA foam. Next I started building it together, cutting parts out of corrugated plastic as the centerpiece and sandwich the EVA foam around it, both bottom and top. Also use screws and a bit of hot glue to stick it together, and also inserted some dowel rod. As you can see here, the centerpiece, I have attached another corrugated part and I'm going to sandwich that on. Here's another view of it, of the feet and part of the centerpiece before I glue it together. These are the parts that attach the wings to the body. I also used hot glue and screws to adhere these together. Inserted a mini servo. This will act as an activator for the opening of the wings. Here is a closer look. It is 90% complete. It is just missing the neck and the head. There is another look at it with the wings partially open. Here's a look at the original G1 Laserbeak compared to mine. Here I have attached the neck and the head, also installed the LEDs for the eyes. Unfortunately, I have lost a lot of the build video that I had originally, so I am using images. It's time to transform it. Just do it manually, just to have a look at it. As you can see here, I have completed the rocket packs and also the guns. Unfortunately, I've also lost the video to this, but it's starting to look good. Also constructed from EVA foam, dowel rod and a pull noodle, as you can see there, the blue parts on the back. I'm going to transform it into cassette tape. You can leave the rocket pack on it, but if I want to put it inside of Soundwave, I need to remove them. Moment of truth, the transformation. Yeah, that's awesome. I was so wrapped when I could actually transform it like that. I can either use my hand or use a remote. At this stage I was only using my hand. This was a night test. You can see Laserbeak's eyes. Here's a close-up, a 360. Next step before painting, you need to apply a couple of layers of PVA glue to the EVA foam, as the foam is porous and it will suck the paint in like a sponge. This is a necessary step before painting. Here comes the fun part, is the paint. Adding details such as rust and also wear, or weathering I should say, is something that makes it stand out really cool. And here he is, transformed in cassette mode and painted. Looks really good, really nice. The next test is to insert him inside of Soundwave, and there we go. With the night view, looks really good. Next step was to take Laserbeak outside and take a photo shoot, both with his fellow minions and obviously Soundwave. That's it for this video. If you've liked what you've seen, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Chat.